Hey guys, welcome to the Confidence Nugget, where we get real about confidence. My name is Christen, and I am beyond excited today because I am sitting by one of my favorite people in the world, Madison Cox.
Hey guys.
Madison and I have known each other for, the first lead in 2017 we met.
Almost 3 years now.
Yeah, but we just recently started working together, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago or so. It's been a couple of months. I'm not sure I've ever had a client that dove so deep and so quickly. It's just been absolutely amazing. The woman that I met 2 months ago is not the same woman that sits here today. She has totally done the work. I'm so proud of her. But you know, something that stands out, because you heard me speak this year at LEAD 2019, and then she reached out. And I remember you said, I have a chance of making the Olympic team. Why wouldn't I do everything I can to reach that goal? And it was like, duh, of course, you know, but so often, especially in sports, you know, as long as we're doing the physical, and it's like, you know, you gotta focus in on the mental. And again, she has just like gone all in with it. And it's just been like such a joy, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So I'm excited for them to learn more about you and hear about your story. So why don't we go ahead and just dive right in. For those out there that may not know you or know you well, why don't you kind of give a brief summary of your swimming career and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started swimming when I was 4 years old. You had to be 4 to compete on the team that I wanted to compete on, Lubbock Swim Club. So when I was 3, I started taking swim lessons because the whole tryout was to make it across the pool. So when I was 3, I took swim lessons, and when I was 4, probably on my 4th birthday, I want to say, I was eager to jump in that pool, did the tryout, made the team, and then I swam with that same club team, Lubbock Swim Club, from when I was 4 until I left for college at 17.
Okay.
So I loved my journey there. I love my coach there, Trey Hayes. He's actually here with me this weekend. We're at the U.S. Open National Championship. So he's here with me this weekend,
Awesome.
And I'm really happy to have him coach me. He helped me develop as a swimmer to the point where I was getting recruited by, you know, my dream schools. I was really happy about that. The recruiting process was pretty great for me. I came in thinking I was going to go one school, went a completely different school, but I loved it, and I've loved my choice. I went to University of Texas, swam my 4 years there under Coach Carol Capitani, chose to swim for her afterwards, and 2017 was my last year of eligibility. Swam at NCAAs and decided to continue swimming professionally, and have done so since with Carol.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a very brief version of my story, but you know, there's a lot that goes into to bring you where you are today. I mean, one of the things is Olympic trials in 16. I think that's the point where I decided I wanted to swim professionally.
Okay.
That's kind of where I knew that I had more I wanted to achieve in the sport, and that I wanted to continue to pursue those goals for 2020. Then I had 1 year of eligibility. 2017 was great. It was like a whole new year. World Champ Trials were that year. I was fortunate enough to make the team, go on to Worlds, got a bronze medal in the 200 individual medley, a gold in the 800 free relay, and I was on top of I felt on top of the world. I was like, you know what? That kind of that to me was like the validation of, this is why you chose to swim professionally. Like, you are good enough, you are doing this, like, this is great. And it was kind of like I was on this great trajectory, you know, this linear path that everyone hopes they have in life. And the next year, that linear path took a little tumble down. I got a call that March saying I had failed a drug test, and my whole world flipped upside down. And there's a lot to that story, and it's been a journey, and it still is one, and it's part of my story that I've accepted it, and we've fought through it, and thankfully we've come out on the better side of it. So I was reinstated and given back my eligibility to swim. Let's see, I think that was September of 2018. So it's been almost a year now. I was able to swim last summer nationals, and it went very well. And now we're back on that linear trajectory up. So
yes. Now, those of you out there that don't know her, this is someone who does everything right. I mean, everything. Like all the details. I don't like to call them little things because I don't think there's anything little when it comes to something that can make a difference in making the team or not. But as far as the details, she does everything right. So the minute that I heard, or saw online about this positive drug test, I knew immediately, no way.
Yeah.
There's no way like this. There's no way this happened. Kind of, if you don't mind, go a little bit deeper into your journey from finding out to, finally them realizing it was not your fault. Talk to me about the emotions.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, with the ban, you would have missed, what would you have missed if
I
the
missed
ban?
2018 Summer Nationals because of the ban, which put you on a team for that year's Pan-Pacific Games as well as the Worlds next year. So I was automatically out of Pan-Pacs and Worlds. So it was extremely devastating. I think you said emotions, right? That's really what this journey was. From the second I got that call, it was just a flush of emotions. Just first shock, disbelief. I mean, I everything. I had no idea, and I just got so angry and mad at the situation, and that I couldn't. It was out of my hands. I couldn't control it. I didn't know why it was happening to me. I still don't know why it happened to me, but it happened, and I kind of had a choice to either get mad about it and just live every day angry and pissed off, and I mean, depressed was describes an emotion that I felt that whole journey, and so I had that choice, and I struggled with it for a while, and I did get angry at times, and I was pissed, and I kind of just put one foot in front of the other, thinking, what can we do today? And so the first step of the process was hiring a lawyer. Like, what went wrong? Why is this happening? And so we hired this environmental contamination lawyer who was our guide, and I was very grateful for him. And, his whole thing was the amount that was found in my body, they equated to a pinch of salt in an Olympic-sized pool. So what could I have come in contact with that in so low amount could get into my body? So it was like, what have you touched? What have you drank? What have you eaten? What So I came up with a huge log of things that had gone into my body the week prior to the test. And we tested things from my contact, from my eyelash serum that I was using at the time, foods that I was eating, my water supply. We had no idea. And finally the time came when we had to appear before the FINA court in Switzerland, and we fought water. We thought, there was a case in New Jersey that was found in the water. This substance was probably found in my water supply, and it didn't come up in the test that we ran. And so my initial ban was 4 years. We went to the court, and they said, we believe you're a good person. We believe you didn't do anything. But because of how the rules state, we can't give you no time. So they gave me 2 years based on good character. So at that point, it was, okay, where do we find the source? Like, it was back to the drawing board, this puzzle. That's how I felt the entire time. Like, I was in this puzzle, and that I was just in this terrible place that I was just somehow forced to get out of, and I didn't know why. And so it eventually came out that we tested my supplements, which we hadn't done because I had taken them for 7 years. It was a multivitamin that I was taking, a multivitamin and a separate iron, and I didn't test them because I thought, why would I need to test them? I'd taken them for 7 years. They're simple, harmless things. Like, each test was thousands of dollars. Why would we waste that money and time? So we eventually went back and we tested them, and it came up in my multivitamin. And the second we got that call, I will never forget where I was when I got that call, and it was just like this weight had been lifted, and I was like, finally, like, there's an answer. There's, this is all, I could see the finish line to this.
Yes.
And so after that, we sent those results into FINA, and they said, time served, like, you're done. At that point, it was a 6-month ban. And so they said, you're done, 6 months, that's fine. And I was back able to swim. The journey wasn't over from there. There's still an emotional toll that was paid.
Of course.
And we're currently even in lawsuits against the supplement company. and it's still ongoing. Thankfully, I'm able to swim and do everything that I love, but I remember at the time you mentioned that you saw the story and you thought, there's no way she could have done that. That's really what got me through, thinking the people that know me, the people I care about, the people that in my circle, in my life that I know, they will know without doubt that I would have never done this.
Right.
I had to believe that in my heart, and I still do believe that, and I just held on to that. The people that care and that matter to me would never think that.
Yes.
So
yes.
That's really what got me through.
Yeah. Yeah, that I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Did you keep training through the whole thing?
Yeah, for most of it, I had to take some time off when I was just like, this is too much for me.
Yeah.
I took 2 weeks, but I mean, that was after Summer Nationals. I thought pretty much until a week before Summer Nationals, I thought I was swimming in the meet. So I was training and preparing to swim in that meet, and once it was about 2 weeks before the meet where I got that, the ruling saying I was out for 2 years, and that's when it went very dark for me, and I had to take some time away. I remember I got up and told my team that was really, really hard to do. And then I disconnected. I didn't have my phone. I didn't have anything. I just spent time with my family and my best friend.
Yeah. Well, this was obviously a really hard time. Obviously a pretty unique situation of a hard time. But there's a lot of people out there that go through hard times. Obviously not, like you went through.
Yeah.
But I want to use this for learning, for those out there, because talk to me about the specifics, like what really helped you. You are allowed to go into that dark place. Yeah, you're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be frustrated and angry. But you also need to move forward.
Yeah. And
so kind of talk to me, even talking to them out there, what are the specifics? Like, how did you keep moving forward even though there was just a tidal wave of anger and sadness going on?
Yeah, and that was really hard, and I really hope this specific situation never happens to anyone else in the world. I mean, it's miserable, but adversity happens. That's the reality of life. I talked about that linear trajectory. It does not happen. There's bumps along the way, and it's going to happen to everyone. Every adversity is different. It's all relative, but everyone at some point is going to experience a time, and it's not all happy rainbow roses the entire time.
Right.
And that's the reality of life. And for me, getting through that, it was thinking not future thinking. I really had to be in the moment, be present, and think, what can I do right now? And a lot of that was just being a good teammate for those around me, not, coming to the practice and being all like, oh, mopey, woe me, like my life's terrible. Things are going on in other people's lives. You never know the battle the next person beside you is facing. So for me, it was really just being happy and a positive person for those around me. And for not letting my own circumstances, yes, they are the circumstances right now in this moment, but I can make this moment better and more about, myself and happiness than letting these circumstances control me and define me. I think that was a big part of it. It's just not letting that adversity that you face, not letting it define you. It's part of your story, yes, it is. And it always will be, but that's not who you are, and you still have the choice to decide how you want to be and the person that you want to become.
Yes. I think one of her greatest qualities that I've learned is she is always thinking about the people around her and how she is an influence in their lives. And even if she's having a bad day, she's not going to go in and affect her teammates in a negative way. You can get through practice and go home and be as negative as you want to be.
Yeah.
But, that's such a beautiful quality about you, is you are always very aware of how you are influencing the people around you.
Yeah. And I mean, you learn things from the people around you, and that trait right there is actually something I learned from Elizabeth Beisel. She's a good friend of mine. She's a big role model for me. Yeah, hi, Beisel, if you're out there, love you. But I remember hearing her story in 2016, and I think you heard it too at the Elite Sports Summit when she shared it. She did not have the meet she wanted to have. She went through that adversity. Sometimes life sucks and it's not in your favor, and it happened to her. And you know what she did? She helped the people around her. She was a great teammate. She was the best captain that she could possibly be. She did warm-ups with people who needed pace. I mean, she's just an incredible person for those around her. And so I kind of tried to embrace that during my adversity. Just thinking, okay, like this sucks. Yeah, life sucks, but like, how can I contribute and still make others better? Because in the end, it's making you better as well, and it's making you happier. That's where I kind of found a big source of my happiness.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
So let's move forward from that. How has that changed you as a swimmer, as a woman?
Yeah.
Is there anything, that changed you through that?
Oh, absolutely. I can honestly, truly say I'm a much more grateful person now. Because when, when I was going through it, I'd come to the pool thinking, I don't know if I'm going to ever be able to compete again. I don't know if I'm just training and just here every day for nothing. I have no idea. And so now I get to the point, I'm so grateful just have the opportunity to get to do what I love and to be here with the people I love. Yes. I think that is something I completely took for granted before, and now I can truly say, even when it sucks, even when practice sucks and I'm hurting, I'm choosing to be here, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I think it's this, since then I've had a much better perspective just on life, and it's really kind of throws you back and thinks, wow, I didn't know how good I had it before, and I'm definitely not going to take that for granted now.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
To take a really crappy situation and learn from it. Yeah. It changes you.
Yeah.
I always say it's like when you go through a hard time, an injury, or whatever it is. On the other side of that, even though it sucks, you are a braver version of yourself.
Absolutely.
You are a stronger version of yourself. And if you start focusing in on the good stuff that you've learned, not good stuff from that, we're not going to pretend that was, but the good stuff that you learned and how it changed you in a good way, really helps you move forward better, I think.
Yeah, and I'll always say I never hope to go through that again in my life, but I think it happened for a reason, and I've definitely learned from it, and I've become a better version of myself because of it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So let's turn the corner from that, because obviously you were having big success before that. You're having big success now, and I feel like you're also a very different version of yourself now, which is, I think, going to make you better than ever. Just my opinion. But let's dive into fears. Let's dive into doubts, because again, this is why I do the show.
Yeah.
Everyone experiences fear, but everyone also thinks they're the only one experiencing fear. So to talk about it openly, and especially to talk about it with someone so successful, you're not alone out there. So how do you handle, actually, let's just go, let me ask you, what are some fears? Because obviously we're getting closer and closer and closer to Olympic trials, which at the 16 trials, she got 2 4th places, which is amazing, but it's obviously pretty close to, the ultimate goal, and that had to be a bit heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of the fears and the doubts that you're having as we get ready for 2020.
Yeah, and I think, first of all, it's important to realize, even though I'm having success now, those fears and doubts have even been heightened from before then. They are there. But I'm very thankful for you and I think that's one of the big reasons that I am able to have those fears and doubts and also still have this success. They're not mutually exclusive things. It's not like, oh, they're successful because they don't have fears and doubts. It's no, they're successful. They have fears and doubts, but they're managing them, and they're, talking openly about them and not just suppressing them. So, so with that in mind, some of mine, they change, but, since deciding to turn pro, one of my biggest ones has been, and especially after this past year, has been just, what if this is all for nothing? What if I've spent all this time, I've got through that, that adversity, and I'm on the other side now, and then I still don't make the team? And that's one that, it's there and it's real, and that's a possibility that could happen. But that's definitely at the forefront of my kind of fears and doubts and what ifs right now. And so that's a big one. I think this one, everyone out here probably has this one, which also comforts me. Hopefully it'll comfort you too. But just, what if I die? What if I die from this race? Some days aren't our best days, and what if this isn't one of them? What if this isn't a best day, and what if I just die and don't swim the race that I know I can swim.
Sure.
So
and for non-swimmers out there, she doesn't mean actual death.
Yeah. No, not.
She means the piano on your back.
Yeah. Your muscles just completely just giving out, and you're not there. So, those are two of my big ones. Right now,
because you're a 400 diameter.
Yeah.
It's a scary race.
It's a scary race. It really is. And some days I walk into it, with a different mindset, but some days it's just scary. And,
when we first started talking, I said she does everything right. She came to me as this perfect person. And I have to admit, I always kind of saw her as the perfect person because she had it together, and I hate to say the word fearless because I don't believe in it, but she was probably the closest version to fearless that I thought. But then, as we started talking and she started to really open up and be honest about those fears, it was like a dam broke. It was a big wall that she had up. This is my perfect persona. Mm-hmm. This is what I show the world. The wall is now gone, and she is able to be herself. And again, the deep stuff isn't for everybody. Mm-hmm. But when you find somebody that you can talk this out with, it's so freeing. So talk to me how that has changed you to be able to talk about those fears that you weren't allowed to talk about before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up, high school, even college, I always thought I had to be the perfect person, perfect grades, perfect swimming, perfect social life, and it really weighs on you. Just as a person, it's almost just like this physical weight that's bearing you with these expectations that it's hard to be happy or even function at some point, and I think I came to you at the perfect time because I was able to truly just find a safe space where I could express myself and tell you about these things. And the more we got talking and the more you kind of showed me the light, I like to think about it as that I realized those expectations weren't real. They were real because they were from me. I was those expectations. It wasn't my family, it wasn't my people I cared about, anything that I really was pinning them on. It was these expectations I was putting on myself. And the second I realized that I didn't have to be a perfect person. Perfect people don't exist. I'm not perfect. It was really freeing. It really allowed me to just be myself and be a happy version of myself. I actually think you told me this metaphor when we first started talking. It's like this anchor that's weighing you down, that really is keeping you from being the best version of yourself, and that's what it was. And the second I was able to kind of cut that anchor loose or at least chip away at it some, it's really freeing, and it makes you happy, it makes you a better person, it makes you be able to be a better person for others. And I really appreciate it. And we're not completely there yet. I know yet. We always have work to do, but it was just nice coming to that realization and being able to take those expectations off myself. Yeah.
I mean, it's a journey. Mm-hmm. And it's a life journey. Exactly. And there are going to be moments in life where, you're flowing and there's confidence, and there are moments where it's like, let me get under the covers and stay here all day.
Yeah. I feel it so, and it's so weird how it can change even moment to moment. I'll both be feeling on top of the world. I'm great. This is awesome. I'm confident, and then just the smallest little trigger, and you're just all of a sudden just recoiling into this shell. And so I think it's that perspective of not having those expectations, not having to be perfect, really helps you from that coiling. It helps you to realize when it's happening, realize that trigger, and just keep on walking.
Yeah. And I think you have also learned how important it is to consistently speak. Mm-hmm. Because there are times where, she's busy. Yeah. And so we'll miss a week. Mm-hmm. And then the next week, it's like she comes and just throws it all on. But when she's done, she's a new woman. Yeah. The weight of the world is off of you, mm-hmm. So being able to talk all this stuff out consistently can be a game changer. Yeah. And I've seen that with you.
And I think, from the moment we started working together, the very first day, I had your journal and I started writing, and I've written in it every single day since. And I think that's helped a lot because a lot of times we forget about these cues. We forget about those triggers. And so being able to write them down, and then, we have a busy week and we're not able to talk that week, I can talk to you the next week, and I still know they're there, and I'm able to address them and get to every single one of them instead of forgetting about them or pretending it's not as important as it is, because something else is going to kind of come up, and it's going to seem like, oh, that trigger is more important. You know, I care about that more, but really you got to address all of them to really be free. And so that's also been a huge part of this journey, I think, for us, is just writing everything down. Just not even a few sentences I write down, and it helps just kind of remind me. So. Yeah,
absolutely. It as you're talking, I'm thinking of Natalie Hines, our friend here. But she said, you know, as she started to do the work, it was as if her eyes finally opened. You know, it's like she went around for so long, like, I'm perfect, you know. Yeah. And then her eyes opened, and there's just a new awareness about you once your eyes are open. And again, I mean, like I said, she has gone all in with the work. Yeah. She is doing it, and I'm just really proud of you. Yeah,
thank you. And my eyes have been open, and they after that they can't be shut. So yeah, you know, it's really finding that, you know, safe place, safe person, which for me is you, that I can just hash it all out with, and it's been life-changing.
Well, I'm so thankful for your wisdom. I'm so thankful that I've gotten to work with you and get to know you better. I think you're phenomenal. I like you so much better now that I know you're not perfect. And to know that this phenomenal woman, you know, with so much success has a lot of the fears I do, you know. So I'm thankful for your honesty and you learning from everything that you've been through. And I think really the very best is ahead for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I think I love what you're doing here, and I think that's the most important thing about anything we're doing in this life, is to share it, to help other people. You know, you get somewhere and you realize, this is what I've done, it's helped me so much, and you share it with others. So I really love what you're doing with that.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, one last thing, a nugget of wisdom for those out there.
A nugget of wisdom.
Something that you've learned over the last couple of years that can help those watching.
Okay. I mean, I referenced it a couple times already, yes, so I think that's why it's so important to me that life is not this perfect trajectory. It's not point A to point B. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs and bumps that happen along the way, and it's not, oh, when are the bumps going to happen? No, yes, these bumps are going to happen. They are there, but it's not just getting past them, but learning from them and accepting them as part of your journey and being a better person because of them. So I think that's really important for everyone to just know and accept and embrace that we are going to fail. If we're fighting and trying as hard as we can, it's going to happen. But it's really learning from those failures, learning from those bumps, and getting past it to become better, to become a better version of yourself.
Madison Cox, everybody.
Yeah.
The wisdom. Thank you. So excited for you. I can't wait to keep working. Can't wait for trials in 2020 coming up. Just so excited. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.